It is Wednesday, the 1st of October, 2025, and I would like to welcome you to episode number 7. We are back, episode number 7 of the Beyond the Mat podcast with Joshi Wrestling. It is good to see you. I have not seen you for at least 4-5 weeks. A lot has happened, okay, and I'm sorry. All I can do is apologize. I can explain it. Nevertheless, we are here. It's episode number 7. How are we all doing? I hope you are all good. Where have I been? Where have I been? If you haven't seen the other socials, I've been away. We've been to Paris. We've done a lot of incredible things. I've been sick. Let's start off with Paris, shall we? Paris was absolutely incredible. I have not made an episode since before Paris, just after AEW Forbidden Door in London. But yeah, Paris was incredible. We were just holiday makers for days on days, man. We had an absolutely amazing time. We went to Clash in Paris. We went to Monday Night Raw. We did a full-on bus ride of Paris. We did a Raw preview underneath the Eiffel Tower. We ate amazing food. We had steaks. We had pizzas. We had, all of that non-French stuff, but it was incredible. We had such an amazing time. We really did. I hope you are all good though. I am so sorry it has been so long through traveling and sickness. Anyway, we are finally here. We are back, episode number 7, and it is good to have you. Before we get into it though, could you do me a favor? Could you, wherever you are watching, let me know what it is you are watching on, wherever you are, whether that's on Spotify, whether you are on YouTube, Amazon, Apple. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're on Apple, make sure you drop a 5-star. If you're on Spotify, also make sure you drop a 5-star. It is very much appreciated. It goes a real long way. But from here on out, these are going to be consistent. We're back. We are so back. We had Monday Night Raw. It's fresh to me, Monday Night Raw, so I think it's always good to discuss it on the podcast. So we're probably going to kick things off right there. As of recording this, it's Tuesday night. I tend to watch Monday Night Raw on a Tuesday because we work early on a Monday morning, so we can't on a Tuesday morning, so we can't stay up for it. So whilst Monday Night Raw is fresh in my brain, I think it's always best to do a little recap, because I often get asked, Josh, what did you think of Raw? And I don't really tend to get anything out on it because it tends to be like Tuesday night by the time I watch it, and then nobody really ever gets to hear my opinion on Monday Night Raw because it's not even like I can make like reactive content to it due to us having work. Monday Night Raw this week I feel has been mostly different. I actually quite enjoyed Monday Night Raw this week, as did I last week's Monday Night Raw. I've enjoyed Monday Night Raw for a few weeks now. Some huge moments. Roman Reigns returns. Once again, I can't lie to you guys. I'm sick of hearing Roman Reigns returns. I'm sick of hearing things like when someone disappears for a few weeks. I mean, we've not seen Roman Reigns for 4 weeks, so I guess I'll kind of let him off. But how many times have we seen Roman Reigns return to the WWE this year? Because that number is just ridiculous at this point, right? CM Punk has been missing for 2 weeks since WrestlePalooza, and next week, we're going to see CM Punk return on Monday Night Raw, and that is classed as a return. I'm just not keen on calling things returns just because people haven't been around for a few weeks. Anyway, Roman Reigns is back. He got himself involved in the match between the Usos and the Vision. He comes out with a steel chair. He attacks Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker right off the bat. Jimmy and Jey end up picking up the win. After the match, there's a little beat down from Roman Reigns on Bron Breakker with the steel chair. And yeah, so he is back. The biggest question that we've got here now, though, is what is going on with Jey Uso. Jimmy and Jey bickering backstage. They've been bickering for a few weeks now. Jay's not happy with Jimmy for helping out LA Knight against the Vision last week. Jimmy's questioning Jay's approach. And wondering why they can't help out. Jey is talking all about how they need to start focusing on themselves in order to get themselves back on that path to success. A lot of people asking me, is Jey Uso gonna turn heel? And I I actually think he might. Let me tell you why. And I know a lot of people are saying he will not. I understand it. I understand it from a business point of view why he would not turn heel, okay? He is the biggest merch seller as it stands right, or at least he has been. I haven't got any figures to back this up in fairness, but he has been historically over the last year, 2 years, where with all the kind of the yeeting that's going about, we know that Jey Uso has been huge when it comes to WWE merch and all the stuff that matters to the business people of the WWE, and that is absolutely fair enough. And I would completely understand it if Jey Uso never turns heel. That is absolutely fine. But I'm gonna flip this. I'm going to flip this real quick because I actually think they will turn Jey Uso heel. Whether that is done at Survivor Series, whether that is done, I don't think it'll be Crown Jewel. I think that's too close. I think Survivor Series could be the shout. They've already changed the Usos' music, so it's not coming when they come out together now. Whilst they are doing the yeet, they are not doing the regular Jey Uso yeet song, and I think that's just the start of the transition of. Oh, well, we haven't been hearing the song anyway. I do believe that we will get it down the line, and people are going to come for me, and I understand their argument. They're going to say, no, it's a silly business decision if they turn Jey Uso heel. The same as it's a silly business decision if they turn Cody heel, because two huge face names, face selling more merch most of the time. But I just do believe that we're going to see it. They haven't. I get it. I get that this TKO is so different from what we've seen before, and they're probably not gonna take the cut. But I'm just gonna say it, man. You heard it here first. I think Jey Uso actually does turn heel, and I'm gonna get the bigwigs being like, "No, man, he's not gonna do that because WWE aren't gonna lose money." Let's just wait. Let's just wait and see. We need to do something with Jey Uso. His character has become very stale. I'm not sure if I want to see him win the world title again because what's the point? He is the same. He hasn't evolved, I believe, as an in-ring competitor as such. I like Jey Uso as well. Like, I'm not even meaning to like trash talk him here, but I do feel he is repetitive. There's not much to him. I always thought that Jimmy was the better solo competitor, the best wrestler. I really do like Jey Uso. I promise you. Promise you when I say that. I don't mean to start this with such negativity, but I do believe Jey Uso turning heel will bring a fresh perspective to the game, and I really, really would like to see it. Other key moments that went down on last night's Monday Night Raw, we got Asuka and Kairi Sane now announced to take on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at Crown Jewel this month. This month now, actually, 11th of October, Crown Jewel in Perth. Brilliant, fantastic stuff. We're gonna have Kairi Sane and Asuka versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think it's going to be a great match. So Io Sky got missed by Asuka 2 weeks in a row as she's trying to stop the attack that Asuka is putting down on Rhea Ripley. Later, she told Rhea Ripley that she would face Asuka and Kairi Sane at Crown Jewel. And Rhea Ripley is saying, no, look, you remember, these are your family. These are your family that you're going to fight around. Io Sky tells Rhea Ripley, no, this is it. You can trust me. You can absolutely 100% trust me. And I think that match right there is going to be a very, very good match. Good to see Asuka and Kairi Sane on a PLE, by the way. Two very deserving athletes. Two very, very good athletes. They've been putting a shift in these last few weeks. I've been enjoying the Asuka stuff. Kairi Sane as well, being a little bit manipulated, I guess, being under the banner of Asuka. You know, I'm genuinely loving what they are doing because it is different to anything they have done for a while. I even love the little bits where Kairi Sane is still stood in the shot and Asuka is away somewhere and she shouts, Kairi! I absolutely love it. It's so good stuff. Intercontinental Championship was on the line as well. Dominik Mysterio defended successfully against Rusev. I really like what we're doing with Dominik Mysterio. Dominik Mysterio is playing the classic, I'm going to say it, man, Eddie Guerrero. He is pulling things out of the locker that Eddie used to do. He lies, he cheats, he steals. That is exactly what Dominik Mysterio is doing as an Intercontinental Champion right now. We saw the match with AJ Styles a few weeks back, and we saw that months back actually now, not the Paris match, but the other match on Monday Night Raw. We saw him pulling the things like throwing the chair and falling and taking off the boot. What a really creative finish that was. I really enjoyed that. But we're seeing that again more and more from Dominik Mysterio. Dominik Mysterio this past week against Rusev, we saw the chair shot, we saw the referee, the low blow. It's clinical Eddie Guerrero. It's classic Eddie Guerrero, and I am absolutely loving it. Dominik Mysterio paying homage to Eddie Guerrero, his dad. Look, I really enjoyed it. Rusev is not going to be happy. Rusev is going to want more. But Dominik Mysterio has also got Dragon Lee after him as well. We know the Dragon Lee gets the next opportunity at the AAA Mega Championship. Dominik Mysterio, AAA Mega Champion, by the way. We didn't even think to mention that before I said that. But wow, man, like doing something that his own dad didn't do. One of the greatest, or if maybe the greatest luchador of all time, most would say he is, in Rey Mysterio. He's done something his dad didn't even do, you know? And granted, he wasn't in AAA that long, Rey Mysterio. Nevertheless, it's a big title and a big luchador organization for Dominik Mysterio. I am loving what Dominik Mysterio is doing right now. It's certainly different. It's certainly the homage to Eddie Guerrero is fantastic. As a huge fan of Eddie Guerrero, it's really, really cool to see. There's not somebody else that I would like to see replicate doing the same thing. Absolutely loving Dominik Mysterio at the minute. Another thing, I mean, it honestly sounds like this was the most perfect Raw in the world, because Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Okay, it was whatever. It was a fair match, I guess. Raquel scoring the pin after Roxanne Perez got involved. Obviously, Lyra Valkyria makes that her way down to the ring. Bayley ends up doing this weird. What is going on with Bayley? What version of Bayley are we getting each week? We're getting a different version of Bayley every single week. A few weeks ago, she shouted at Lyra Valkyria after Lyra Valkyria walked into a changing room. Last week, she pushed her over and she left. This week, she stood her up and she's like, yeah, come on, Lyra, brilliant. It's, yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this arc as well. I can't lie to you. What are we going to get to? Where is it going to? I don't really know. Because Lyra doesn't know, Bayley certainly doesn't know, and then Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez are just there for the scraps, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying seeing where Bayley's going. Are we getting Hugger Bayley? Are we getting heel Bayley? We don't know what Bayley we're getting week on week, and I'm actually kind of enjoying that. We had a backstage segment with Becky Lynch attacking Akira Tozawa and then attacking Maxine Dupree. All a little bit strange. But I guess she's stressed after losing to AJ Lee. She probably knows that AJ Lee is going to be coming for that title eventually. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what we're going with that. One of the biggest moments of the night for me, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins going back and forth on the mic. I thought that was incredible. I thought the two gentlemen at the peaks of their careers, at the highest point of any career in wrestling, they are the world champions of the biggest organizations in the world. And I believe that that segment right there confirms why they are the best at what they do. I felt the emotions, the in terms of the future shaping of the WWE. You know, we're talking numbers as well with this one. You know, Cody Rhodes has not lost a singles match to Seth Rollins. He is currently 3-0, you know. He is talking, Rollins is talking about when he beats Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel, he will rewrite the timeline. Everything behind him is forgotten, and going forward, he writes the vision. Isn't that perfect? That is absolutely perfect. And overall, I had a great time watching Monday Night Raw. The focus was clearly around the Bloodline and Roman's return. But one of the most compelling moments for me really was between Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. I would easily give this a B rating if I was going to rate it in the same sense how ESPN does. You know, it felt pretty good to me. It felt like everything that did happen was meant to work well. It felt like Monday Night Raw was well put together, and overall I thought it was a pretty good show. I can't lie to you. I really did enjoy the show. And it gets me for once really excited about what's next. What are we figuring out for Roman Reigns? You know, there's a lot Roman Reigns is back. How long is Roman Reigns back for? That's a good question. We're going to find out what is next for... lots of questions. What is next for Roman Reigns? What is next for Jimmy and Jey Uso? What's next for Jey Uso? What's next for Seth? What's next for Cody? They've got the match, but what's really beyond the match? You know, Lyra, Becky, Kairi, Asuka. There's so many questions, and that's what we like as wrestling fans. If we have questions, but we already have the answers, that's not fun to me. That's really not fun to me. Another thing I wanted to touch on was AJ Styles getting the match against John Cena at Crown Jewel. Do I believe this match was made out of the random and because the fans demanded it? Absolutely not. You'd be silly to believe that this match has just come out of the open. I believe this match has been booked internally for months. Probably the start of the farewell tour completely. I do believe that match has been in the locker for a very, very long time. Nevertheless, two of my favorites of all time going at it one more time. Those two have had some bangers, by the way. Some really, really good matches. They are two of my favorite athletes of all times in a wrestling ring. And I, for one, am super excited to see them go at it one final time. That goes down 11th of October, Crown Jewel. That is 2 weeks away. And I, for one, am very, very excited. Let's get ourselves on to the listeners' questions or the community questions, we'll call them. Will is asking, what do I think will happen with the Vision? Will they break up? How and when? In my opinion, Will, I really think that this all comes down to the power and who is eventually holding that world title. Currently, Seth Rollins is holding that world title and he holds all of the power. What we find out a lot about, especially with Seth and Paul at this point, is they'll stab anyone in the back to be the best at the game or at the top of the game. And if we've got Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed sat below them, they're only going to learn from the people who are above them. And the best way, the way that Braun and Bronson have seen people be elevated is by being a betrayer. I certainly do believe that Braun Breaker will be the one that ends up splitting this Vision up. Not sure how that affects Bronson Reed, if I'm honest, but Braun Breaker is the one that I believe will want the gold. I think the group will basically fall under pressure. You know, maybe Braun is starting to question the direction of the team. Maybe after Seth eventually drops the belt to maybe a CM Punk, he's then questioning, well, we've got Paul Heyman at the helm. We've got Seth Rollins at the helm. Why are we not champions? We are this group. That's where I'm seeing the tension break. That's where I am seeing a bit of conflict, maybe in-ring communication, maybe some backstage stuff. And the WWE loves slow burn storytelling. So I really do believe Braun Breaker will be the one to break up the Vision because he'll be the one questioning the Vision. He'll be the one questioning, why are we not champions? Why do we not all have gold around our waist? And that's where I think the breakout happens. I think Braun Breaker breaks the Vision and Braun Breaker goes on to eventually turn on Seth. Maybe he kicks Seth out, but then there's only going to be the two of them, so maybe not. But all I will predict is that Braun Breaker is the one to do it via WWE's very, very slow burn storytelling. That I like, by the way. I really do like it, but it definitely will be a betrayal arch. I'm certain of it. I don't know if anyone's going to join or leave along the way. Someone that I did predict in a couple of videos was Ilya Dragunov joining the Vision, and I think that still would be a really good shout, but it doesn't look like I predicted that 8 weeks ago and it still hasn't happened. So I'm not gonna sit on that one for too long. I would have really liked to see Ilya Dragunov join that, because then at least if they do turn on Seth, then there is the opportunity, there is still enough people there to be a faction and not just a tag team, I guess. Nevertheless, Braun Breaker be the one to break up the Vision in my eyes. Will, thank you very much for the question, my friend. It is very, very much appreciated. Banana Man is asking, for Crown Jewel, who do I think should win? Now, that's kind of a tricky question because we haven't fully completed the card yet. We have got John Cena versus AJ Styles. We have got Kairi Sane and Asuka teaming up to take on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. We have got the two champions matches as well, right? We have got Stephanie Vaquer, the brand new women's world champion, taking on Tiffany Stratton, the women's WWE champion, as well as the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, WWE champion, taking on world heavyweight champion Seth freaking Rollins. So we're going to go off those 4 matches right there. And I think the best way to do this is maybe not give everything, because I think episodes of the podcast closer to the time, we can break this down. We've got 2 weeks, so this is probably going to go properly into 2 weeks in time. But if we're going to rattle through them quick, I think Seth Rollins, and I know you said no bias, so I'm not biased at all. People know that Seth's my GOAT. There's a picture of him right here if you are watching the episode this week. Seth, I do believe, will win that match. Seth does need the win. I don't really know how this is going to go down. Like, I don't know if the Vision are going to get involved. I don't know if, like, maybe a Randy Orton turns up and turns heel. Like, I really don't know how it's going to go. So I am going to predict a Cody Rhodes win with this one. I just don't really know how... a Seth Rollins win with this one. I just don't really know how we get there, if I'm honest. A match that I am a little bit more certain on. In fact, I'm probably more certain about the other 3 matches. I believe John Cena is going to beat AJ Styles, and I also feel that that's going to be a very, very good match. I think since we've seen Cena at Survivor's SummerSlam, he had a very good match against Sami Zayn, like a really, really enjoyable match against Sami Zayn. He had a very good match against Logan Paul. I think he's going to have a very good match against AJ Styles. 2 incredible athletes. Cena is absolutely shaking off all the ring rust at this point. AJ Styles is going to be incredible until he's 90 years old. The man's in the best shape of his life. I do think Cena will win that match. It's not one that it doesn't matter who wins that match. You know, none of them are going to go on to do things. Like there's no implications of winning or losing the match, but I do believe that John Cena will win that match, like clean, in fairness. I think that Kairi Sane and Asuka versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, I believe that will end with an Io Sky Rhea Ripley win. I can't see Io Sky turning or anything like that. I've seen a few people say that online. Simply can't see it happening. It just kind of doesn't make sense. I would love to see Asuka go after a world title, if I'm honest, but that particular match, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky to win. And finally, Stephanie Vaquer, your brand new women's world champion. I don't know why people say world heavyweight champion, versus Tiffany Stratton. And if you saw this past week's Friday Night SmackDown, that could be the worst SmackDown main event in the history of wrestling. That's probably a bit harsh, but it was definitely a very, very bad main event. Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. It was atrocious, man. It was start to finish. There was so many botches. It was a really, really difficult watch. In the end, we had the crazy botch at the end where the referee counted 1-2. Nia Jax didn't kick out. It was crazy, crazy stuff. Nevertheless, that did set up Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton for the Crown Jewel Championship, whatever. And yeah, I think Stephanie Vaquer will win that match. I can't see it going. I mean, I think it can go in the way of Tiffany, but Stephanie Vaquer is the best female wrestler in the world right now, in my eyes, in my opinion. She certainly is. She's incredible. She's absolutely fantastic, and without a doubt, I cannot see her losing that match, despite it being Tiffany Stratton. Someone who has also been red hot for a very long time. Someone who is currently the longest reigning champion in WWE. I still believe that Stephanie Vaquer will win that match. Banana Man, thank you very much for the question, my friend. I enjoyed thinking about that because it made me realize what matches we already have. And if you think about it, man, this Crown Jewel match, this Crown Jewel card looks incredible so far. Those 4 matches are very, very, very good. Grant, good to see you in the question section, my friend. Grant is asking me, first one, I think it was more of a statement. Is it just me or is Raw been pretty boring lately, he says? I don't think you're a million miles away. I think I said at the start of the episode that the last 2 or 3 I've actually really enjoyed. It's been very hit and miss for quite a while. It feels like it's kind of spinning its wheels a little bit, you know. Matches have been somewhat decent, to be fair. The promos have been fine. Nothing has been like, wow, that's incredible. You know, I think there's been a lot of really good moments throughout the cards. I'm very, very sick of seeing the Vision and the Usos, or the Vision and Jimmy and LA Knight, or Jey and LA Knight, and just that variation of people in the main event is absolutely killing me, you know. We just need to see more story progression, and I'm hoping right now it's in a place where it can be that going forward. It's one of those times where the WWE has to put the pieces together properly. It's their off season, I think, is what their excuse is. I've heard them say that a lot, or not them, but I've heard people say that a lot. It's their off season. It's not their biggest times of the year, which is a shame, because I love Survivor Series. You know, the good thing is that we are now progressing with things. We now have 4 fresh matches for Survivor Series, for Crown Jewel, sorry. And whilst they are not particularly matches that affect anything, they are quite fun matches. I mean, bar the tag team match. The tag team match is the only one that determines really anything that will happen. The champion versus champion matches don't do anything, but they will be spectacular. I'm certain the Tiffany and Stephanie is going to be a great match, as will Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. They put on one of my favorite matches ever in Hell in a Cell a few years back. I absolutely loved that match. I watched that back a lot. And then John Cena versus AJ Styles. It's a match that we have called for as fans for a very, very long time, since we've had this the farewell tour. So AJ is definitely someone we wanted to see. So I get you. I understand, but at least right now, going into this PLE, it feels a little bit fresh, because we've got 4 matches that we've not seen in a long time, or we've not seen before, which is really great, in my opinion, you know. Grant is also asking, am I a Rock or an Austin kind of guy? Grant is telling me he's more of a Rock guy. I won't lie to you, Grant. The Attitude Era is not an era that I grew up in, unfortunately, and I really do wish I did, because I wish I felt it in the moment. Everything I watch from the Attitude Era now, and I've done my best to try and go back and learn as much about the Attitude Era as possible, and make sure I'm tuned in, being, you know, kind of this wrestling content creator and fan that I am. I like to make sure that I am as much as I can be learning, you know. And I love both, man. I really love both. If there was one that I was leaning more, though, towards, opposite to you, honestly, it probably would be Stone Cold. But I do get The Rock completely. One of the greatest ever on the microphone. His charisma is absolutely off the charts. I get it. He can sell any match. You know, if you say The Rock is wrestling tonight, it's a sellout crowd. It's a sellout. People are buying the pay-per-view, you know. But I do have a soft spot for Austin. I can't lie. He is the rebellious energy that he brought to the ring, to the promos, to the companies. I loved it, man. I absolutely loved it. The tension, the fans going absolutely wild, as they would for both people, you know. But I just think longevity-wise, Stone Cold Steve Austin was just a little bit there more for me. And both guys are unforgettable, though. Let's face it. Both guys, by the way, are on my Mount Rushmores of wrestling. So that probably right there is enough to tell you how much I greatly respect what both gentlemen have done in wrestling, for wrestling. I've just always leaned a little bit towards Stone Cold Steve Austin more. I can't lie to you. You talk here as well about AEW. You're telling me you're not really a big fan of AEW, but you want to get into it more. Watch the big pay-per-view. You currently watch the big pay-per-views, but that is about it. How should you get more into it? Honestly, the easiest way to get into AEW is to start small. Don't be trying to watch, 4.5 hours a week as you would with AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision. I would just focus on their Monday Night Raw, which is AEW Dynamite. Dynamite is a lot of fun. You don't always see people cross over, but in most cases, AEW Dynamite is the show that I prefer. I would watch AEW Dynamite over Collision, maybe to start with. So that'll be 2 hours a week. You can catch that on Triller, and then the AEW. It's probably about £9 a month. Grant, just kind of watch it weekly. You know, maybe put it on in the back. You will get into it. I'm certain. The wrestling is different. The wrestling feels a lot less choreographed. And I guess a little bit more predictable if you haven't watched it before. And then just try and maybe catch up on older pay-per-views, like see how the company has grown. I was in the same boat. Like I was like, I don't want to go all in. See what I did there? Straight away and just try and watch everything. So I started off with Dynamite, then I got into Collision, and now I'm watching AEW Dynamite and Collision. You know, it's hard to commit all the hours to wrestling, in fairness. Like, I watch Monday Night Raw, I watch AEW Dynamite, I watch Friday Night SmackDown, I watch Collision, and NXT now, unfortunately, has just fell to the side for me, which is a big shame because NXT looks like it is absolutely booming at the minute. I watch a bit of TNA as well. I have done for a long time, but even that has been like, oh, if I've consumed too much wrestling, then TNA can probably slip out this week. But I make sure to keep up with as much as possible. But that's the recommendation. Get yourself on Triller, AEW. You could probably get yourself a free trial for a couple of weeks, maybe. But yeah, check it out. Check out the AEW Dynamite to kick things off with. It's super easy. It's super easy. As the same with WWE, they are very good at telling the viewer, even if the viewer has never watched before, getting them up to speed is what I believe a good wrestling promotion is to be. And AEW does that very, very well, as does WWE. But I am absolutely loving AEW at the minute. I really, really am. We are also asking, what is my opinion on the Invasion show, NXT versus TNA? I absolutely love it, man. I love the Invasion. I really do. It gives us matches that we're not as much bound to see, right? I really do like it, and getting that Survivor Series feel to it as well, where they're going to do a men's match and a women's match with both brands. I love it. I love seeing the what ifs. What if this person from this brand took on this person from this brand? And boom, I love it. I absolutely love it. Not part of the Invasion, but we are going to get TNA X Division champion being Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. That is an incredible card. Bound for Glory, man. I'm so excited for that. Like, when I heard that Leon Slater was going to TNA, I was telling people, I was like, that is a dream match right there. I even think I made a video on it, but that is a dream match right there. Like, mark my words, that match will happen. And now that match is booked. I'm very, very excited for it. But to answer your question, I love it. I love NXT versus TNA. But what I don't want to see is NXT just winning with a landslide. NXT has been both their women's champion and their men's champion. And I don't like that. I don't like that Trick Williams is the current TNA champion. Like, it just gripes me a little bit that someone from NXT can be the TNA champion. And I get it. I get it. But I don't like it. I really don't like it. But the Invasion is very, very fun. Very, very fun. And I'm excited to see it all go down. I really am. Grant, thank you for the question, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. It really does help. Really does help make this thing, you know. It really, really does. Thank you so much. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Banana Man. Thank you for all the questions that came in as well. I did want to keep this one a little bit shorter this week just because I'm getting back into it. Going to keep this one to about 36 minutes, give or take. If you would like your question answered on next week's episode of the show, I do record these every single Tuesday night after I've watched Monday Night Raw. So make sure you get your questions over to me. You can do that by messaging me on Discord. You can do that by messaging me on one of the socials. Drop a comment wherever you're listening. Leave a 5-star or email me. contact@joshywrestling.com. I'd appreciate that a lot. That has been episode number 7 of the Beyond the Mat podcast. I appreciate you tuning in. It has gone so quickly, but I absolutely love it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday or whatever day that you are listening to this on. I will see you next week for the podcast. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.